Hello, Scary Dolls.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Mandy.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Caro.
And you're listening to Scary Not Scary Podcast.
Podcast.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Hood Rats. It's been a while.
This is an episode of Scary Not Scary Late Night Edition.
We've been loving these late night editions, y'all.
Late Night Edition.
This one's okay for me because it's not like scary.
Okay. So
I'm
you won't
good.
go home having a heart attack the whole
Nope.
time. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, but we also have a listener story to talk about at the end. So,
Is it the one that my bestie?
Yes.
My baby.
Yeah.
Girl, all my friends are spooky. I saw that one.
Ash just gave me like a dirty look.
I love her.
What?
I mean, why don't we save that one?
For when? Next year?
Yeah.
This one is perf for
It's
Halloween.
Perfecto.
Okay.
Chef's kiss, baby.
All right. I'm just staying here till 11 o'clock until Nick gets off.
I'm going to be
Just so you
here
know.
taking a nap.
We need to carve pumpkins. That's what we need. Oh, we got one pumpkin entry.
We did.
Already?
We
Yeah.
only got one so
Perf.
far.
Yeah.
So if y'all don't enter, this was going to be the winner.
Yeah, y'all better hurry up and get your pumpkins in.
Get your pumpkins too.
So
I
when
bought a
this-
pumpkin so I can carve one.
When this episode comes out, it would be October 24th.
So
that
y'all have
means-
4 days to come up with a plan and execute.
Yep. Come on.
I mean, they're $5 at Target, and there's like a cute little, what are those little carvey tool things? But it comes with like stencils in the back, so you have no excuse. Like there's a
So,
stencil right
like
there
the
for you.
pumpkin carving
Yeah.
Oh my
package
God.
or something.
Yep.
Or you can like paint them or make buildings out of them.
rules.
Garo's a professional.
I'm a professional. I was a runner-up a couple years. Just kidding.
You were.
Tell me why when I worked at my previous job, I would enter the fucking pumpkin contest every year. And I would always like get second, third place. And I'm like, fuck, like I need to get first place. And then last year when I quit, that's when I got first place.
Really?
Yes.
Did they get y'all pizza and stuff like they said they
No.
were?
Whack ass hoes.
What did y'all end up
rudes.
winning?
We didn't get nothing.
What?
No, I lied. It was a $10 gift card to Chick-fil-A, I think, if I remember
that's
correctly.
I mean, it's food.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm happy at Chick-fil-A all the time.
Chick-fil-A is a shit.
But yeah,
Chick-fil-A.
so we got like 3 pumpkins and we made it into a big haunted house.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It was
yeah.
nice. It was nice.
That was cool.
Guys, remember we're having a contest.
So submit
A
the
contest.
Your pumpkins.
pumpkins.
Hey, our live was fun when we did the little trivia.
Yeah,
That was-
fun.
That was really fun.
But we
I
didn't
like
do it
that.
for everyone. We were doing it during a test drive.
No.
People were just logging on.
oh yeah, because we got some rude visitors.
Rude.
Rude visitors. It was ugly. But we won't talk about that.
We don't talk about that on here, okay?
Yeah.
You,
we move
you
forward.
can hear it on the live rewind.
Rewind.
The live rerun.
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 What
The fuck? My head hurts now.
One more episode till Halloween.
Halloween.
We gotta pick a good topic for Halloween.
This is Halloween.
So we went.
In this
Yep.
town we call home.
Yeah.
Everyone hails.
You got
to
a
that
good one?
No,
I don't.
I don't.
I think I do, but we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about it during our team meeting.
Secret.
Team meeting.
Right now, it's
Why do
all
I
about
make-
business.
Why do I make everything into a song?
Because you like to sing.
And I sing like crap. I'm a crap.
Okay, so this episode, we decided to do something kind of interesting and different.
Interesting. I like this topic.
So we decided to talk about slashers.
Slashers.
Since they're so popular right now, I guess.
Everybody jumped on the bandwagon and
Yeah.
suddenly loves all of, our baby daddies. Well, mine and Garo's.
Yeah, no mine. Although I do like Texas Chainsaw. So.
Ashley
I'm
likes
proud of you.
Ashley likes the true live criminals.
I do. Yes.
You admitted that, I think, like the second episode or third episode.
We're like,
It's so
girl, what's
interesting.
wrong with you? But meanwhile, I like Freddy with his skin burning
I
off.
think Tim should find that clip from that episode where he said,
And put it
do you
in.
ever look at, like, you know, serial killers and you're like, oh, you're hot? He said something like that, right? And me and Carter are like, no.
Hey everyone, Tim here. Is that what really happened? I was really curious. What really was said during that episode? Let's find out.
So you don't have like a weird like crush on
Not
somebody?
for creepy people. Well, maybe like serial killers. Because when I see some serial killer, like, you know, like ones in history, I'm like, oh, they could be kind of cute. Like, I could see that.
That was funny.
That was funny.
Raw, not the same thing. Psycho.
Totally.
Sorry.
You're real psycho, not us.
Well,
So
it's
we're going to
okay.
be talking about our favorite slashers, give you a little bit of backstory, and basically, like, talk about them like they're real life people.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why
not?
not? We're going to do, like, Criminal Minds shit. We're going to...
Yeah.
What is it?
Bust a nut.
I do bust a nut sometimes watching Criminal Minds.
Oh my god.
Yep, that's
Late
true.
night edition.
Late
Whenever
night
it's late night, we don't get scared to get dirty.
We're basically profiling slashers.
Yeah.
Hot.
She's
ish.
like, you think he's hot?
My bad. Sorry.
Both of mine are daddy. So,
One of mine is Chiquito Daddy.
yeah.
Look at her face. He's Chiquito Daddy.
He's tricky though. Okay,
Oh my
so I am starting this party off, and I'm going to be talking about our favorite slasher of all time, and his name is Michael Myers.
Great.
No,
Wrong one.
that's the wrong one.
Wrong one.
I hate you. He's later, okay?
Wrong one. My bad.
Guys, can you tell Ashley doesn't watch any scary movies?
I don't.
Hey, no, but I'm not.
That was good.
Yes,
It was good.
it sounded really good. It sounded really good.
You can tell midway she was like, wait, that's the wrong
I was like, oh wait, wrong one. Hold on.
That was, girl, that was good.
My bad.
You're the best
great.
sound effects person
She went.
ever.
She did the. I can't get your face, like the way you looked at me. You're like, oh shit, wrong one. Like you tried not to make eye contact with me after you did it.
I'm crying. Can you not?
My bad. My bad. I get them confused sometimes.
That's fine. You're fine. You're good.
Hey, I'm trying, guys. I'm
Can
trying.
you do the sound effects to this one though?
No.
Oh my god, I can't. I really thought you were gonna sing the theme song. I was like, and then what came out of your mouth, I was like, oh no, oh no, honey,
A for effort.
You tried.
Wait, is effort spelled with an A?
Oh my god. We're done. We're done here.
That's it. That's our show. We're gonna let you go. Oh my god, we can't spoke right. We don't do math. Oh, we can't. Oh, I'm so.
I don't know. Well, you know what I mean?
Said A for effort.
That's right. No, it's not.
It's E for effort, right?
It's not.
No,
It's A for
I think it is A for effort. Is it?
I think it is.
How do you spell effort? You can't even tell me how to spell
It starts with an F.
E F ert.
Y'all, I can't. We're gonna have to start this from the beginning. I can't deal.
Oh my god.
Let me drink my water. Hold on.
It is E for effort.
Oh. What?
Effort. EFFORT.
But I thought the
you were
saying
getting
is
an
like
A.
A for effort. Like, oh, you get an A, like an A, like
Yeah.
gold star for trying.
I
No?
guess. I never paid attention.
My mic moved.
Anyways,
Anyways, guys.
Yeah.
I tried to hit you in the mouth.
Yes. Oh, that's not the first time.
No.
Something's hit me in the mouth. Oh.
Okay, back to Michael. Just a little backstory. The original Halloween movie was released in 1978 and was written by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill and directed by Carpenter. The film was inspired by Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho and Bob Clark's Black Christmas. In case y'all didn't know, I thought it was interesting. No?
Yeah.
Sure.
Tough crowd.
Womp womp.
So Michael Audrey Myers was born on October 19th, 1957. He had an older sister named Judith and a younger sister. The family resided in a 2-story house at 45 Lambkin Lane in the suburb town of Haddonfield, Illinois. On October 31st, 1963, a 6-year-old Michael dressed as a clown for Halloween. Chung chung. Clownish. He dressed as a clown for Halloween and watched his sister and her boyfriend kiss before going upstairs to, get it on.
Do the deed.
Boom, chicka, wow, wow. Since we're doing sound effects.
Homemade.
So basically what Michael did is he took a knife out of the kitchen drawer and waited for Judith's boyfriend to leave. Michael then snuck up the stairs and reportedly stabbed his sister to death. After watching her die, he left the house only to be discovered by his parents who had just returned home. And if you haven't seen the movie, Michael was completely drenched in her blood, and they're like, oh my God, what happened? They run upstairs, and his sister's dead. Police come, and you just see the sirens, and poor little Michael is standing there super confused, doesn't understand what just happened in his little clown costume, because he didn't know what he did.
Cutie. Poor baby.
I'm not empathizing with him. I'm fucked up, guys. I love Michael. Okay. Michael was sent to Smith's Grove, Warren County Sanatorium for his crime, where he would remain until his 21st birthday until he could be trialed as an adult. At Smith's Grove, Michael received psychiatric treatment from Dr. Sam Loomis. Upon spending time with the boy, Loomis concluded that it was a hopeless case, that Michael Myers had no humanity left. He pleaded his case that Myers to be moved to a secure facility. But did they listen? No. So, everybody refused to move Michael into a secured facility. And basically what happened in 1965, Michael's parents were killed in a car accident, and his little sister was adopted by the Strode family, who renamed her, can you all guess, Lori. So his parents actually, and I don't remember if they talked about this in the movie, probably in Rob Zombie's remake, but no, Rob Zombie's remake was like almost completely rewritten.
Yeah.
So his parents actually brought Lori to visit Michael at the facility at one point, apparently.
Really?
When she was a little girl. Was it his parents? No, the Strodes, so the adopted family, took Lori to visit Michael at the facility when she was a little girl.
What?
Yeah. At least that's what it says.
I don't
here.
think that was in the movie. That
They
wasn't in the
did
movie.
say, yeah, it says here at one point, I guess, like somewhere in like the backstory, like they did, and that's how he remembered her.
That makes so much sense.
And that's why when he got out, he was like so focused on like looking for his sister. So of course he ends up going home he escapes. On October 30th, 1978, the 21-year-old Michael Myers destroyed his room at Smith's Grove and carved the word sister on his door before breaking out. He also released other patients from their rooms. At the same time, Dr. Loomis and nurse Marion Chambers were arriving at the facility to transfer Myers to his court hearing. Noticing the patients were coming outside of the hospital, Loomis got out of the car to investigate as Michael attacked Marion and sped away in their station wagon. And long behold, that's when Michael goes back home and the Halloween slash begins.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So what's pretty interesting is that a lot of people now thinks of Michael as like an immortal. He's not an immortal. He's just a very strong human to kill. Like a lot of people think like he's paranormally like advanced or like he's supposed to like I heard this one theory that they said that he like sold his soul to the devil and like that's why like it's so hard to kill him. No, it's not that he's immortal. It's not like anything paranormal going on. He's just a psychopath that is strong, heavy built, and is hard to kill.
Well, damn.
Damn. Well, I mean, yeah. What else is he gonna do in there? Really?
Work
out. That's it.
True.
No shit. Like this, I mean, it's just crazy. Like, just like all the timelines and the different ways that they made the movies. It's just crazy. So, in other media, what I did find about the Michael Myers movies is that it was actually inspired by a real life serial killer. So John Carpenter did say that they went to go visit a facility and it was of a boy. And this boy was said to have been not a serial killer, but he was a psychopath. And he said that the boy had like pale face and his eyes were really big. He said like when he stared into the little boy's eyes, it was almost like the devil was staring back at him. And so Michael Myers' face was inspired by that little boy.
Oh my gosh.
Pale, like no eyes, like black holes, like some would say the devil would have black holes. So he was like, his look was inspired by that. The little boy.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy, right?
That's so weird.
Yeah, so he said, the blank, pale, emotionless face, blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I tried to reach him for 8 years, and in another 7 years, he came and locked up. But I realized what was behind simple evil. And that's also a quote from the movie.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
I thought it was interesting. So if you don't know the list of the Halloween movies in order, I can go over the list in order for you real quick. So it's Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, The Season of the Witch, which, fun fact, Michael Myers doesn't really come out in Halloween 3. It's more about his niece that he has a connection with. Mm-hmm. And then it is Halloween, The Return of Michael Myers, Halloween 5, Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, Halloween H2O, Halloween Resurrection. Then it was the remake by Rob Zombie, Halloween, that came out in 2007. Then Halloween 2, that was also by Rob Zombie, that came out in 2009. And then the most recent ones that they made, which is Halloween, that came out in 2018, Halloween Kills, that actually just released this month.
I saw that.
And then Halloween Ends comes out in 2022 next year.
Hey. Which I like. That's before
a lot of Halloween.
That is a lot of Halloween.
Halloween Town High. I'm just kidding.
Halloween, Michael Spawn, Halloween. No, I'm just kidding.
They're going to just keep it going.
Yeah. By the time I'm old, I'll be back in my day.
So I unfortunately haven't seen the newest Halloween, and I'm very sad about it. And I'm actually off the week coming up, and I told Tim I wanted to go see it. And he was like, okay, yeah, we can go see it. But he kind of gave me that look like, oh, shit. And I was like, what? And he was all, I never seen any of the Halloween movies. I was like, oh, why did I marry you?
Okay, I mean, at least I've seen some.
I've seen some. Any of them. And he said, he was like, I've seen like maybe clips of the Halloween movies, like when they were on TV, like when you would watch them. He was like, but I've never sat down and like watched all of the movies. I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
I remember like when Halloween would come out, like they do all the reruns like on AMC and Sci-Fi. Like I would just sit there and watch them along with Friday the 13th.
Even during Halloween, they play all of them every year.
So speaking of Friday the 13th, my next slasher that I'm profiling is none other than Jason Voorhees.
Wait for it. Now I got it.
Good job. I'm so proud of you.
That was really good, though.
No, yeah.
I've been
She
practicing.
was so proud of herself. And fun fact, that's why I named my baby boy Jason.
Jason.
I wanted to name him Jason Michael, but Tim said no. I was doing too much. So
I think it sounds
Jason
good.
Michael.
I wanted Jason Michael Charles, but he told me no because he has an cousin named Michael. And so he was like, I like Clark for Superman. And I was like, Jason Clark. Okay, I can do that.
That's doable.
Sounds good.
That's doable. Okay, so Jason. So the original film created to cash in on success of Halloween 1978 was written by Victor Miller and was produced and directed by Sean S. Cunningham. The films gave gross over $468 million at the box office worldwide.
Damn.
And another fun fact, Friday the 13th was inspired by Halloween.
Really?
Michael Myers.
Oh, wow.
So Michael Myers was like the kickoff for like all the slashers coming.
Damn.
Yeah. So Jason was born in a small town of Crystal Lake on June 13, 1946 to Elias Voorhees and Pamela Voorhees. Though his age is often disputed, the actress that played his mother in the movie created her own backstory for the character and put Jason's birthday in 1944. Jason was afflicted with severe facial deformities. He had like an abnormally large head. He had mental disabilities. So Jason's mom basically like raised him on her own. She kept him isolated from the community, not letting him attend school or educating him on anything, like any of the outskirts area of Crystal Lake. So basically like all he knew was home and like Crystal Lake, and that's it. So due to his mental deficiencies, his education was quite limited. He learned never to question his mother. He obeyed all of his mother's orders, grasping the concept that his life was going to be difficult, if not impossible, without her guidance. His extreme obedience for his mother would manifest itself in a strange way after puberty, as we all know. After she died, Jason could imagine her talking to him from beyond the grave. So basically what happened to Jason is in 1957, his mother was hired by Mr. and Mrs. Christie as a cook for their summer camp. Having no living relatives to board Jason or to even have any money to afford a nanny, she went ahead and took Jason with her to the camp. Jason had actually been with his mom most of the time instead of the other kids, leading to them thinking that he wasn't very smart. So basically that turned into the kids at the camp bullying Jason. I keep thinking about Michael Myers. Bullying Jason. And what this turned into was them being cruel. They actually got Jason by the dock and pushed him into the lake, and where that's also told where he like presumably drowned. Mm-hmm. So his last words were him calling his mother, and the counselors that were supposed to be watching out for this kind of behavior were too busy in the room having casual sex.
How fun.
They were too busy getting it on to even realize that poor Jason was drowning. So the mother ordered the camp to be closed, and so the Christies went ahead and closed the camp. The police were supposed to go into the lake and look for Jason's body, but they did like a half-assed job of it and said they couldn't find the body.
Really?
Supposedly. Or
allegedly.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So in 1958, it was again open on schedule. Pamela, which is Jason's mom, was mad with grief, murdered everybody that was at the camp.
Oh, shit.
Everybody. So hence that's Friday the 13th movie. So Jason doesn't come out in the first movie. It's about his backstory and his mother. So you just see like the camp reopening. Everybody's saying that like the lake's cursed. Everybody needs to get out of the lake because the Christies, the original owners, died there. And nobody knows who killed them. It was his mom. So she was like at rage because she was like, they killed my son. Nobody cared. So she was just pissed off. So when they went to go reopen the camp, they actually had some teenagers to go over there to clean it up and reopen it. And I don't know if you know, Kevin Bacon was actually in the movie, but he wasn't a big actor and he wasn't a main character. Yeah. So people didn't really know like Kevin Bacon back then.
Yeah.
It was one of his first movies. But anyways, so a lot of people said that the property was cursed and his mom went on a rampage, killed everybody. So at the end of the movie, his mom ends up getting murdered and ends up getting her head chopped off by one of the characters and dies. So Friday the 13th part 2, we come to realize that Michael, damn it. Michael's on my mind. Jason didn't drown. Jason actually was able to swim away from the lake and he was lost in the woods and he waited in the woods hoping that his mother would find him. So he ended up building his own house, sitting there waiting to see if his mother would come for him. She never did. So he assumed, oh, my mom died. But she really did die in real life, but he didn't know that. He didn't know she was still alive. She never knew he was still alive either. She spent this whole time thinking that her baby died. So it's kind of like fucked up in a way, but it's sad.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
That is sad.
Poor baby.
That is sad.
Yeah, so that is Jason Voorhees. There are a lot of Friday the 13th movies. There's remakes. He had a comic book. We were just talking about this earlier. Freddy versus Jason. And then somebody made a comic book, 2 or 3 comic books for after Freddy versus Jason. And then also all of his movies. There's a lot of them. Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm. Bring it on.
It's Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th part 2, Friday the 13th part 3, Friday the 13th the final chapter, Friday the 13th part 5, Friday the 13th part 6, Friday the 13th part 7, Friday the 13th part 8, Jason Goes to Hell, then it's Jason X that was remade in 2001, then it was Freddy versus Jason in 2003, and then Friday the 13th that was rewritten in 2009.
Damn.
God damn. And that
He's
was
got
all
7
before,
parts.
Hell yeah. Me, Land Before Time over there.
Dang.
So there's a lot of Friday the 13th movies.
Yeah.
There are.
On one that, like the newer one that came out, I believe it was Friday the 13th that came out in like 2009. They said that he was supposed to be like a mock slasher. Like it was somebody who was inspired by the Jason killings, who got like a hockey mask and decided to kill everybody like Jason. Like he was inspired by
Okay.
like a copycat, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty cool. But those are my slashers, and I can probably go on, but I needed to cut it short for the episode. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. I love Michael and I love Jason, and I'm still going to call Jason Michael. The end.
It's funny that we picked like our favorite slash. I was like, y'all better not do my favorite because they're mine. They're my babies.
It's so funny because like I remember growing up watching Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Child's Play. Like those are all like the main movies I remember.
Yeah.
Yep. My
Like, that was every single time I think of
my
Halloween.
brother influenced me because my mom's Mexican. She don't know better.
I did forget to mention something about the what? Say it, do it again. So that was actually taken from a line, 2 syllables, kill her, or 3 syllables, kill her mommy from the film. And Harry Manfredini put it through like some 70s echo like machine he had, which came out as a that's what it was supposed to sound like.
Oh, that's so cool.
So Miss Voorhees in Friday the 13th mimics like Jason's voice, and she's all, kill her mommy, or something like that, right? And so he pulled that, and it's supposed to be
Whoa.
That's pretty cool, right?
That is
crazy.
Cool. So fun facts.
Fun facts. I like fun facts.
Yeah. Okay, so I also have two that I'm talking about. And the first one I'm going to talk about is Ghostface.
Ooh.
Scream. Y'all should all know Scream.
He's sexy.
So Ghostface, or if you guys know him, he's from the movie Scream, is a fictional identity adopted by several characters in the Screams series. So basically, he is a serial killer who doesn't talk, but apparently he's mute in person, but over the phone, he does talk by using like a little, like voice box or thing to change his voice. But when you meet him in person, he doesn't say anything at all, like to you. So he first appeared in 1996 in the first Scream movie. And is basically disguised by teenagers Billy Loomis and Stu Matcher, which is played by Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard. And he basically goes on a killing spree in the fictional town of Woodsboro. But really cool fun fact that I found was that the mask was actually created by a costume company called Fun World Costume by the employee Bridget. I'm going to say this so wrong. Bridget Slariton, I think. So she actually designed the costume to be a Halloween costume. And then when they were thinking about making the Scream movie, Wes Craven sent his costume person out into different stores to try and see what they could find. And Maureen Magdalena was the one who actually found the Scream costume, brought it back to Wes Craven, and he was like, I want to use it. That's the mask. It was just the mask. It wasn't the whole getup. So it was just the mask. And he was like, we need to use it. So they went to the Fun World company and asked to buy the rights to it. And at first they didn't want to give it to him, but they eventually they had meetings and all that kind of stuff. And then finally they decided.
Negotiated money.
Yeah. Negotiated monies
money.
And all of that. So then they eventually won the rights to the mask, but it was just the mask, no costume, no nothing. So that was the second part, was trying to find out what to dress this person in, right? So then they went out and they did have one costume at first, but Wes Craven said that he didn't feel it was right for the character. So then that's when they came up with the black robes for the entire thing. They were like, well, it would be more menacing because in the night, all you're going to see is a white, face in there. So then that's when they went ahead and did that. So the actual Scream or Ghostface costume. So in the movies, it's not supposed to be one specific person that is the main killer. So it's actually used by a bunch of different killers throughout the series, and that's how Wes Craven said he wanted it to be. He wanted it to be a popular costume that anybody could wear, so anybody can be the killer. Yeah. Smart. And that's in the movie, that's the thing that they say oh, anybody can be the killer, and that's exactly what he wanted to do. So that's why it's kind of very basic and very you can get it simple. That way it's he was saying that it gave him a more eerie feeling because you never know who could be under the mask, and that's what he was going for. So in the entire Scream series, there is about 9 people who play the actual Scream people. So Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard, of course, in the very original one. In the second Scream movie, it was Timothy Olyphant who played him. Laurie Metcalf, Scott Foley, Emma Roberts actually played Scream in 2011, which I didn't know that. I thought that was cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. Rory Culkin, and then most, which I don't know if it actually is or not, but I think it is. In the most recent one in 2019, Tyga actually played Scream.
Yes. That's cool.
Yeah.
I love Tyga.
He did, which was kind of cool. And then the voice of Scream, so none of the actors actually voiced them, when on the voice box or on the phone when you would see them. That was actually always voiced by Mr. Roger L. Jackson. So he is the actual voice of the Scream character. So other, which I didn't know this, but other names that apparently Ghostface goes by is Father Death and the Icon of Halloween. That's another alias.
I wouldn't
apparently.
say icon.
I wouldn't say
I wouldn't say icon.
I wouldn't say icon.
Me all mad. No, I object.
This is wrong.
Get out of my house. No, just kidding.
Right. Get out. I don't know. I didn't know like he was called anything else besides Ghostface or Scream.
Yeah.
It was weird. Okay. So in 2015 to 2016, there was actually a television series called Scream, which saw two different characters that were similar to Ghostface who appeared in the first 2 seasons. And they also appeared in a Halloween special episode of the exact same season. That one was actually again voiced by Roger L. Jackson. And then apparently there was one that was called Scream the Resurrection. And then he also returned in that movie again. So the original mask was actually, I don't know if you guys can see the mold there.
Ew.
Yeah, that's what it looked
like
like
a
when they were
grandma.
like creating it.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah, it looks really, really crazy. So basically, the person who created it wanted it to look like, kind of like how yours was, like soulless and like, you know, the eyes. They call them. They called it the. I don't know why, but they call it the peanut-eyed ghost.
Oh yeah.
Like when they were first
it's
making
like-
him. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like peanut shaped.
Penis shaped.
Yeah,
Penis. Peanut. Sorry.
No, you meant to say penis.
Um.
Oh, shit.
So so it was called the peanut-eyed ghost mask when they were first designing it, and then the actual designer said that she used what is that it's a very famous painting. It's literally called like Scream
The Picasso
or
one, right?
Yeah.
Where he's like in the dock or something.
Yes.
Like screaming with his hands. I know.
Exactly.
That's my favorite painting.
Yeah,
I'm
that
not really
one.
artsy fartsy, but I like that painting.
So the creator of the mask actually based it off of that painting. But he wanted it to look more like for Halloween, so he tried to make it a little bit more like sinister. And then so the final design was approved by the Vice President Alan Geller, and it actually took them a while to approve it because they didn't know if they actually wanted to use it as a Halloween mask. They were kind of like saying that, I don't think people are really going to buy this. Like, it's not really going to sell. But then finally the vice president was like, okay, fine. Let's like take a shot at it and let's see like what happens. And then bam, he doesn't know like what happened, but yeah. And then so after they bought all the rights and everything, Wes Craven to the mask, it actually he wasn't called Ghostface at first. They were actually just going to call him the Masked Killer. So they were looking at it and they were like, no, like we need to do like something else. So they actually shot a few of the scenes and a few of the characters like calling him the Masked Killer instead of Ghostface. And then they didn't like the way that it sounded. And so they had to come up with something different. And I think it was actually Greg Nicotero and Howard Berger of the design company that actually came up with the name Ghostface for the mask.
Greg Nicotero.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. I don't know who he is.
He's like a really good Hollywood makeup artist.
Oh, really?
He's really big on like The Walking Dead. That's how everybody like knows him now.
I didn't know that.
But he does a lot of horror films.
Oh. Well, shout out to him. There you go.
She said, shout out
Shout
in case you're
out.
listening.
Just in case, just saying. Okay. The Scream actually makes his appearance in Scream, Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 4, season 3 of the Scream series. And then actually in 2022, they were coming out with the new Scream movie that actually does have Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and David Arquette. The 3 original are coming back.
Yes,
To
it's
the
coming out
movie.
next year.
Next year.
Darn.
I actually saw the trailer of it just the other day. And
When
it
you were
looks,
researching?
Yeah,
Oh,
when I was
yeah,
researching, and it looks actually pretty cool. And I kind
We
of
should
watch
go
it.
scary, not scary date.
Yeah, so that is Ghostface.
I love
there.
Ghostface.
What I thought was like was cool was how they like Wes Craven. I love Wes Craven. Like I think he does like some really good like
Yes, he
whenever
does.
I see a
Yes,
scary
he
movie
does.
and it says like by Wes Craven or produced by anything by Wes Craven, I'm like, damn, it's gonna be scary. It's gonna be good. I know, like you just know it's gonna be good. Yeah. So if you guys have not seen the Scream movies at all, which I don't know how you couldn't, but if you didn't, so just in case, this is how Ghostface gets his killers, okay? So he calls them over the phone, taunts them or threatens them before stabbing them to death. And he uses, every single time, he always uses an 8-inch hunting knife. He occasionally asks his victims horror movie trivia, stalks them in a manner that reminiscent of said films. So if you haven't seen the very, 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 very first Scream, in the very, very, very opening scene with Drew Barrymore, he calls her and is like, "What's your favorite scary movie?"
Oh, yeah.
And then like she thinks it's like a friend or whatever, is like, "Oh, okay." She's going along with it, but then he like starts like saying like real stuff where she's like, "What the hell?" Like, "Oh my God," and then kills her. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you haven't seen the Screams, go see them because they're actually really, really good. I actually like those. Not gonna lie.
Good.
Yeah, those are actually, I really like the Scream
Do you have a
movies.
favorite slasher?
I like the Scream movies. I really do.
Wow, I'm proud of you.
They're really, really cool. I love them. Okay. My next one is going to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Because it's history and I like history.
Yeah, you do.
Get it.
I do. Okay.
We don't call you the History Channel for nothing.
Fun fact, History Channel.
History
Yeah.
Channel. Okay, so if you guys didn't know, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was actually not based on a true story. A lot of people, and like even the movies themselves and the directors and producers said that it was based on an actual true story. It is, but it isn't. It's actually based on the real life killer Ed Gein. Geen.
Geen. Isn't it Geen?
I think it's Geen, right?
Ed Geen.
Ed Geen.
Oh, that sounds right.
Yeah. So basically, it's based on the real life murderer. So it's not like this actually, like the story actually like completely happened. It's more based of like all like the killings that he did and how he did them. And like, there actually is like, a town, like there was the actual town where, like where it came from, but it was more so of like what he did and some of the people in his life, the Ed Gein's life that it was based on. So a lot of people think it's the actual true story, but it's really, it's a grayish area. Like yes and no at the same time. Okay. So what I found was is it Tobe or Tobe? Tobe. Tobe? Tobe Hopper's original 1974 film and the 2003 Marcus Nispel remake were only lightly based on the real-life murderer Ed Gein, who is suspected to have taken several victims between 1954 and 1957. Perhaps the most recognizable is the film's house. So Ed Gein kind of had like... his house kind of sort of looks like the actual house that was in the movie. I don't know if you guys can see it. So it's basically all just lightly based on it. So it's not an actual like true story. Okay, so one of the biggest questions was, did the Ed Gein guy wear a human face just like Leatherface did in the film? He actually did wear a human scalp and face. So the real Ed Gein actually wanted to be a woman, not because of like he had a fetish or like was like, what's the other one? Like if he was born in the wrong body or something. Like
Transgendered?
Yes, thank you. Not that one. But because this is really weird. So he just really liked the way women's skin felt and the colors of that it would be like on their breasts. So he just liked wearing women's skin. It was mostly women's skin that he would wear. Like,
It reminds me of Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
yes, which
Definitely.
actually, like, Silence of the Lambs, Texas Chainsaw, and one other one is actually kind of like loosely based on this one. Yeah. So,
Interesting.
yeah. So he would actually, like, in the Silence of the Lamb movie, wear the genitalia strapped above his own. So he would wear women's genitalia above his own genitalia. He would wear that, their breast, and like their scalp and face. So that's where Silence of the Lambs comes in for that one. Yeah. So he didn't use a chainsaw to kill his victims like in the Texas Chainsaw movies. He would actually hang them. So he would hang them from the rafters in a shed that was in his house. And actually they would be gutted like if he would gut like a deer. So he used like like one of those hunting knives, kind of like Scream. Like he used like the hunting knives to kill them. So there was no actual chainsaws at all whatsoever. So apparently, a little bit of backstory on the Ed Gein guy. He worshipped his mother, and he grew upset when his brother Henry would criticize her. So his brother Henry was more of like, like the bad child, I guess, and he was more of like the mama's boy kind of thing. And in May 1994, while fighting a brush fire near the farm, Eddie and Henry split up and went in different directions. And after the fire had been extinguished, Eddie grew concerned because his brother did not return. So his brother mysteriously went missing during a fire in their house. They don't know if it was Eddie or not, but they dismissed him completely because they were like, oh no, he's too shy and he's too much like of a good little boy, to do anything. So they just like, no, it wasn't him. But his brother was like missing pretty much. Damn. Yeah. Okay. So, here it is. Right here. I found it. Yeah.
You're just like, yeah.
Yeah.
You sound like a psycho.
Yeah. Well, because I was going to say the other movie, Psycho, is the one that he's also based off of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just found it right now. So Psycho, Silence of the Lambs, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre are all based off of this Ed Gein guy. Wow, to have 3 movies. That's crazy. Okay. So there are many films that have, and spinoffs that have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So the first 4 are, of course, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, and then the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation. The Next Generation one that was in 1994 actually had Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger in it.
Daddy.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. And of course, there was a spinoff in 1988 that was called Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers.
Well, hello.
Yeah. So basically in this one, there's a private eye named Jack Chandler who stumbles upon a cult of chainsaw wielding prostitutes in his search for a woman named Samantha. So it's totally different from the Texas Chainsaw. Completely different. Okay, so the director of the Texas Chainsaw actually got the idea to use chainsaws while he was Christmas shopping at the mall. So he was in a big old crowd and he was standing around and he basically said like, oh, like I wish I could get all these people like to move. And he was looking at a hardware store and he saw these chainsaws like, for sale in the window. And he was like, oh, chainsaws would get these people like, if I just got one and like started waving it around, people would go like scatter.
I would.
So basically,
I love it.
Yeah. So basically he went home after that and he had like the bright idea like, oh, I could probably like use chainsaws. So he went home, sat down, and that's when everything he said just started like pouring out of him. And that's when the whole entire story came out and just like, he said maybe 30 minutes is when he started writing the entire Texas Chainsaw script for the movie after seeing chainsaws. So if he wouldn't have gone Christmas shopping, who knows if we wouldn't even have that. Yeah. Okay, and then so allegedly Leatherface, the actual Leatherface, not the one based off of Oh, no. It actually is. Hopper actually knew the Ed Gein guy. Not actually did know him, but he lived in the same time, kind of. So he knew pretty much a lot about Ed Gein. So that's what basically influenced a lot of the stuff in Texas Chainsaw. So he knew that the Ed Gein guy liked to wear like skin. So that's where he got the Leatherface human skin from. He also got the idea that the mask be made of actual human skin. So a lot of the props in Texas Chainsaw were real. So a lot of the bones and like the limbs and stuff were actually real bones, real like dead limbs, and the chainsaw itself that he used in the original movie was actually real. But they took the teeth off for certain scenes. But a lot of the cast members say that they just couldn't get like the smell of like, because they used actual like decaying dead like bones in there. And so they would say that they could just remember like the smell like of how like, and especially being like in Texas, the heat and everything, it made it even worse.
It probably sound like brisket.
Like rotten brisket.
Yeah, it was crazy. And so for the actual mask that they used, Hopper said that he talked to this pre-med student, and he was actually in a class that they were studying cadavers, and he went to the morgue and actually the pre-med student, he didn't have a Halloween costume to use, so he went to the morgue and actually skinned off yes. Yeah, he went in there, cut the skin off of a cadaver and made a mask for Halloween. So when the pre-med student told Hopper of this story, that's where he got the idea to use like skin for Leatherface.
This psycho ass dude. What the fuck?
Yep.
I hope that person was getting cremated because you can't sew a face back on, right?
But that's where he got the idea to use like the different, you know how Leatherface uses different human skins? That's where they got the idea because Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
So actually, Texas Chainsaw Massacre was not the original title. Hopper and co-writer Kim Henkel hammered out the title several weeks before the movie actually came out, and they actually gave it, which I don't know if this is true or not, but I don't know. They said it was. They gave it the eerie title "Head Cheese," named for the scene in which the hitchhiker details the process of how to particularly pork product is made. So that's why they called it head cheese, was because of how he described how to process pork. But they decided that was not a good idea because they decided that Leatherface was actually a more menacing title. So they used it as a working title until a week before shooting. That's when they eventually arrived to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So they were going to call it head cheese, just so y'all know.
Head cheese.
That's so weird, right?
Yeah. Okay. So in the original film, Leatherface is played by Gunnar Hansen. He was actually not the original Leatherface. The original guy, they didn't say his name because, you know, he's obviously not important because he's not Leatherface. But the first person they cast in the role actually quit, I think, a week into shooting because he couldn't handle the smell, the long hours, the Texas heat, and anything like that. So he was just like, I quit. I'm done. Like, not going to happen. But Hansen had heard about the film and the casting, and he wanted to go. And they did say, oh, you would make a good like Leatherface, but we already cast like this person. So they just brushed him off. But then when the other guy quit, they were like, hey, that dude that wanted to be Leatherface, you know, let's call him in. So they did. They called him in, and the producers, like one of the producers, just took one look at him and said, like, that's it. Like, you're gonna be him, because he stood over 6'4", and he weighed 300 pounds at the time.
Damn, that's a big boy.
Yeah. So like the producer was like, saw him and was like, nope, you're gonna be Leatherface. That's it. Like, you're cast.
Can you imagine? Just like looking up.
Hi, Daddy. What?
Hired. Let me climb that tree.
Ew.
Hell no.
god. Okay. So besides the actual story and killings being based on Ed Gein, Leatherface was actually inspired by real mental patients. So Hopper, to drive the character of Leatherface, basically wanted Hansen to base him off of like actual mental patients. So what he did was he would go and study mental patients, pretty much. Yeah. So like the character, he wanted him to like, what is it, like when he squeals, does that squeal noise, like where he squeals like a pig or something. Mm-hmm. So he basically made Hansen go and study pigs for like a few days to like see how they squealed, like so that he could do that. So he wanted him to like capture the mental instability like of Leatherface. So he made him go and study mental patients. And so what he brought back with him was like their movements, the patients and like how they interacted with each other and like with other people. Mm-hmm. And so he brought that back to the movie. So he made to go study pigs and to study mental patients in order to get the characteristics of Leatherface.
The right characteristics. Damn.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. So yeah, that is pretty much Leatherface, you guys.
Wow.
Yeah. What I thought was really sad too was that because he was so like tall and so heavy, when they would like do scenes and stuff, obviously they're getting like, sweaty and gross and like all that kind of stuff. Well, they use like actual, like body parts and bones, and they sometimes use like real blood, like from animals and stuff. So everyone on there said that they, everyone smelled and like it was just so gross. But him in particular, because he was the one that was doing like the actual killings and stuff, he was the most covered and like all the gross stuff. So no one like during like lunch breaks would want to eat with him because he smelled so bad.
Poor guy.
So he was like always like an outcast like during filming. And so he said that actually like he felt like sad because no one wanted to like be with him.
I would go eat with him. I would go sit on his lap.
But
let me feed you that sandwich.
But he said that it kind of helped like his character because like he wasn't supposed to have like connections with all the other characters in the movie.
That makes me sad now. Like I'm sad. I want to cry.
Yeah. But he said it helped his character.
Do you really want to cry?
Oh my God. My hormones are crazy.
Oh.
My bad. I'm
but
psycho.
Yeah, that was pretty
I love
sad.
I love you both, psychos.
Psychopath.
Well, fun fact, if you ever want to eat lunch at Leatherface's house, you can totally do that.
Can we go? I've heard about that. It's like a barbecue place.
Yeah.
Let's
it's called
go.
the
I'm
Grand
down.
Central Cafe.
Let's go for our birthday.
But it says, don't worry, you will not find any human bones as part of the decor or the food.
Damn. So today I am going to be talking about two of my favorite slashers. So we all picked our favorite. I don't even know why I started with that, but whatever. So first slasher, I'm going to talk about Freddy. Freddy Krueger.
Freddy.
My baby. Anyway, bitch. So starting it off, let's start off with his backstory, obviously. So he had a mom. His mom was named Amanda Krueger. Amanda was a nun that worked at this kind of like mental hospital. Anyway, one night the guards kind of forgot about her and left her accidentally locked in the mental hospital without supervision. And by the time they got back, she had been raped by 100 inmates. Or 100, I don't know if I should say inmates or patients, but because it was a mental hospital. So they like abuse her in a lot of ways. She ends up pregnant with Freddy, and obviously she doesn't want to keep the baby. She kept calling him a bastard. She's like a bastard kid. He ends up getting adopted, but the adopted family, the dad was a drunk, and he used to beat him all the time, and he would get drunk and like beat his ass and verbally abuse him and stuff. And at school too, I mean, he wasn't being abused at school, but the kids would make fun of him, and they started like chanting. So they would chant son of 100 maniacs, like to him.
Oh my God.
And this made him like just like a very sad kid. He also started developing serial killer tendencies, and he even killed the hamster that was in his school class. So like he started developing serial killer tendencies, like I said. So time goes by, he starts kind of like growing up or whatever. He ends up getting married, but he still had that urge to like kill, and so he started murdering children, and he was known as the Springwood Slasher. He had a basement in his home. He kept souvenirs, like he kept the newspaper clippings and stuff like that, because he liked all that stuff. So his wife ended up finding that basement with all the stuff. Then he got mad and just killed her in front of his daughter. He killed his wife. The daughter was taken into foster care, and he was caught by police and charged for murder of his wife, but also for the murder of all the kids since they found all the evidence or whatever. But he actually got let go because I think the judge was like drunk or something, and he signed on the wrong side of the paper, so that mistake made him go free.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so he just was running around. Anyway, he was a free man, but the people of the town like weren't gonna forget all the murders and stuff that he did. You know, he was killing everybody's kids. So they like chased him down and they burned him. So while he was being burned, some like demons approached him like in his like state of mind that he was in. I guess he was already like dying, and they asked him if he wanted to continue killing. And I guess when he died, they just granted him that, how do you say it, like they just granted him that availability or whatever, like ability to go into people's dreams and kill them.
What?
Yeah, scary. So the film writer, of course, is Wes Craven.
You,
And
of course.
But you know what? I heard that he grew up like in a real like Catholic home, or like not Catholic. It was like a religion where they couldn't like even watch TV. So that's what kind of made him get into that creepy shit. You know what I mean? So in an interview, Wes Craven explained that Freddy's character was inspired by a story of a young boy that was scared to go to sleep because he feared that death awaited him in his subconscious state. So sadly, the little boy was right. The parents finally got this little boy to sleep because he was like paranoid. And in the middle of the night, the parents woke up to screaming, and it was their son. He had died in the middle of a nightmare. So that inspired Wes Craven to create Freddy Krueger.
What?
Yes.
That's so crazy.
I thought my story was going to be longer because I wrote it, but
Like, he died of what? Like a heart attack?
yeah. So people started, like, when people die in their sleep of a heart attack, that's what kind of like inspired him, because it's like you never know what is on the other side.
What scared him so bad they gave him a heart attack.
Mhm.
Ay,
Can you imagine?
that's so sad.
That's one thing that's scary, because Freddy can go in your dreams.
Yeah.
You can't stop a dream. Like, I mean, you kind of can, but
It's not easy.
yes.
Yeah, because I've had dreams about Freddy. And
You
I'm like,
see?
please don't kill me. Please.
He's all, I'm not here to kill you, baby.
He's like, I'm looking for that Hogado.
Where she live at? I know you
I'll
know.
tell you where I live, baby. Just kidding. But yeah, I thought it was gonna be longer, but because I typed everything out. But hey, that is the story of Freddy Krueger. And so now for my little baby, Chucky. So this one is like super short because, you know, I suck at researching and I was tired. But anyway, so Chucky, we
She's
all
honest.
know Chucky. It was a serial killer named Charles Lee Ray. or known as the Lakeshore Strangler. He was eventually shot by a detective. Charles did not want to die, so he went into a toy store and used a voodoo object, which is the heart of Damballa, the heart of Damballa, to transfer his soul into the nearest object, which just happened to be a good guy doll, which was then sold to some lady, and then bam, that's how it all started. But did you know how they got the name Charles Lee Ray?
How?
So they got 3 names from famous killers. So Charles came from Charles Manson. Yes. Lee came from Lee Harvey Oswald.
Oh.
And then Charles Lee Ray came from James Earl Ray. Do you know who that is?
I think so.
Charles Manson was the one with the cult. Lee Harvey Oswald was the man who assassinated President John F. Kennedy.
Yes.
Yeah.
John F. Kennedy. And then James Earl Ray was the person that killed Martin Luther King. Yeah.
Really?
So they got those 3 names and created.
I never knew his name.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they got those 3 names and they created Charles Lee Ray,
Wow.
Whoa.
the killer.
That's clever.
Yeah. That was a fun fact.
Fun
also, did y'all know that there's actually been murders like inspired by Chucky? Like I saw this one where these teenagers killed a little boy and dumped paint all over him, blue paint, like in one of the movies. That happened in real life.
Nuh-uh.
Real life murders. Yeah. Scary. Oh, did y'all know that you remember in that movie where Chucky has a kid or whatever,
Yes.
Seed of Chucky, how they were chasing after this car and it's Britney Spears inside? Well, Britney Spears had no idea that they were going to use like a doppelganger of her.
Really?
Like she had no
really?
idea until the movie came out.
Was
that
she mad?
I don't think she was. I was looking at the thing and no, it doesn't say that she was mad.
Because you know how there's some like celebrities that get all pissed off with that stuff.
Like,
Yeah.
man, they're not using it. They gotta pay me money.
All mimicking them.
Super weird. Oh, and then there was one murder that happened in real life, and it says the clearest cut example was of a woman who was tortured by a group of men who were yelling Chucky catchphrases at her while they were murdering her.
Bitch.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Want to play? They're just fucking stabbing her. Can you imagine?
Oh my
That's
god.
so crazy how people like I love like horror and like slasher movies, but it's just crazy how people get like really inspired by them in real life, but like in a negative way.
Yeah. I was reading this thing that said like 10 facts about Chucky or something, and I found like, if people didn't know this, it says Chucky has a sex scene.
Oh.
It says Chucky might not be the first movie ever about a creepy doll or the first horror franchise to grip the box office in the 80s, but it was the first movie to have a doll have sex. It says first scene of 2 dolls sleeping together, and also first ever scenes of a doll attempting to impregnate a human with a turkey baster. That's one of my favorite scenes.
I wonder if people have tried that.
Oh, definitely. Getting someone
With the
pregnant with a
turkey
turkey
baster?
baster. That happens all the time, no? I thought
It's like in a lot of movies.
Now.
Well, now, yeah.
Do you know that in
nowadays.
some of the old Chucky movies, it was like they had to have one person moving each body part. It wasn't like robotic like now. Like even the eyebrows had somebody moving them,
Really?
and the hands.
Oh, it was like a
and the
puppet
fingers.
type
Yeah.
thing? Ah.
Weird. But I thought I was really gonna, when I was typing all this shit out, I thought it was gonna be longer. But now I'm sitting here and I'm like, damn, y'all stories were long, and I'm just like, yo, Freddy and Chucky are my.
That's so funny because I feel like I
Men's.
didn't do Michael and Jason justice. So I'm like,
me
I
neither.
should
Me
make
neither.
it more fast.
But y'all, I didn't even like really like. I've been busy, all right?
It's true.
It's been a busy week.
I forgot to mention one thing about Leatherface. So, Leatherface, and according to director Tobe Hopper, Leatherface actually kills out of fear, not malice or violence.
Because he's scared of other people.
Because he's scared of other people, because it's actually been determined that he does have a slight intellectual disability. Basically, it's like, well, in here it says mental retardation, but I don't like that term, so we're just gonna say the other one. But he was apparently diagnosed with a degenerative neuro disorder when he was only 12 years old. So Leatherface was raised by the Hewitts and Sawyers after being abandoned in a dumpster at a meat parking plant. So depending upon which movie you watch, he's either dumped in the meat parking plant or somewhere else. But that's why he kills like out of fear, because he has a fear of people.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Makes sense.
That's so funny. My grandpa's like a huge like horror fanatic, and like he's the reason why I love like horror movies, slasher movies, everything. But he's terrified of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
terrified. He won't watch it.
I wonder why.
He won't watch it. I remember I saw him watching it one time, and like he couldn't really get through the whole movie because he's like, nope, I can't do it. So I think growing up, when the movie first came out, it was told that it was based off a true story.
It was. I think
And then,
people were saying that.
I think he said that my great grandpa, his dad, actually they drove through that town that supposedly the movie was like based off of, and terrified him. So it was like a childhood, I guess, like trauma or horror for him. So even now as an adult, it's hard for him to watch the movies.
Well, that's what I thought until I started doing like the research. I thought it was a legit like there was a town in Texas where they like killed people and ate them and like did all this stuff, and I was like, oh my god, like that's so freaking crazy. And then it's not.
I was gonna say, also fun fact about Nightmare on Elm Street. We were watching it last Sunday, and it said featuring
Johnny Depp.
Introducing Johnny Depp.
I was like, oh my god.
Little baby, but
We're like, look at him, he's so fun. This man is so fun.
Is that okay for us to say that? How old was he there? Please be 18.
Yeah.
Wait, doesn't count, right? He's older already.
He's older.
Okay.
He's fine.
Bro, look at him. He aged like fine wine. Like
He
we're
did
saying
age
all
like
this
fine
stuff
wine.
to the TV.
Hell yeah.
I was like, he looked hot then and he's hot now.
Yeah, for real.
Like, he would be the only older man that I would ever be like, hi for. Any other older man would be like, no.
I love him.
Well, and Jason Momoa too. I like Jason Momoa.
Sofia Vergara's husband.
Oh my god, yes.
Joe Maggiano.
Yes.
What's up?
Okay, them three.
I forgot to say too. You see, now that we're talking about it, I'm remembering stuff. But whatever, this episode is gonna be all over. But y'all guys love us for that. Anyway, people were saying that Chucky was based on Robert. You know, that doll Robert. But it's not. Like, really, the producer just was really inspired by the Buddy doll, and then the Annabelle doll, the Raggedy Ann, and Cabbage Patch Kids. And that's
Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yeah, and that's how Chucky was born.
Fun fact.
You know what my Buddy doll looks like?
We should just do an episode where we just say fun fact and fun fact.
Fun fact, when I was born, I was preemie and had to wear Cabbage Patch clothes.
Stop.
Yes. I was so small, I had to wear Cabbage Patch doll clothes.
Hell no, I was a big old bitch.
I was raised like 8 months.
I was wearing
2 months.
2 teeth.
Oh, stop. That's almost Jason.
Stop.
Oh.
Okay, but look at this is the actual My Buddy doll.
Oh, nope,
You
creepy.
see it? You see it?
I can see why Cabbage Patch though. The face kind of looks like a Cabbage Patch doll.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nope, that creeps me out. I don't like it. Yep.
That is what Chucky
I can see why.
Inspired by.
Oh hell no! Look at that face.
he's
Look at
checking
that.
you out.
He's like, hi.
We should post this.
I'm good guy. Wanna
Fuck. Oh my god. Play. Sorry.
play? So we do have a listener story.
Okay, go.
Listener.
She wrote us in today, actually.
You know, but before you say it, I had been telling her to send us a story for a long time, and she was like, really scared. So for her to send that, I was like, I messaged her. I'm like, I'm proud of you.
Do you want to read her story?
You can read it. It's cool.
Because there's some
Spanish
in it.
She's
and
like,
I'm
please read it.
I'm not going to be able to pronounce that shit, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to sound stupid.
So it says, and this is from my BFF since we were like 5 years old, Daisy. We went to the same elementary. I couldn't bring myself to listen to the entire Devil episode. When I was like 5 or 6, I vividly remember getting up to get water and looking to my right into our living room. Standing there in the middle of the room was a tall, horned figure. I remember feeling nothing and just kind of standing there. The figure then stepped into the light, revealing a normal face of someone that I never met. They asked, ¿Te puedo preguntar por un favor? Meaning, can I ask you for a favor? And I said yes. Then walked away to wake up my mom. I've always felt like I'm followed, not necessarily by something good or something bad. I opened the door for a favor, and one day a favor will be collected.
So when I first read it, I was kind of like, well, what was the favor? But she ended up coming back and saying that she had asked her mom, like, hey, have you ever talked to us like about the devil and like any religions? And her mom told her, no, like, I wanted y'all to make y'all's own choice when y'all got older. And so she's kind of like, yeah, I made a promise to do this favor for someone or something that I have no idea what the favor's for. And like one day they're going to collect on me. And she said that her mom agreed to it too, right?
Yeah, she said, it says, this memory is ingrained into my mind. And when I asked my mom if she ever taught us about the devil, she said, no, I never introduced y'all to religion because I wanted you to have a choice. And because I grew up Catholic. And when I was a little girl, se me apareció algo and asked me for a favor. And I also said yes. So when the mom, the way I'm reading it is when the mom was younger, something appeared to her and also asked her for a favor. And she said yes. So
and
whatever
it's like they
it
were
is,
too little to know better, right?
whatever it is going around asking for favors.
But they don't know what that favor is.
Yeah.
She's like, hell no.
Hell to the fucking no. Yeah. Like, bitch. Mm-hmm. See, that kind of scares me because I told Nick the same thing, that I was just we were gonna let Sophia like choose like when she gets older, and now I'm like, bitch, I'm fucking telling her shit. Like, I'm not gonna tell her like what she should be. I'm just gonna tell her like, this is this religion, this is this religion, this is what this is, this is what this is. Like,
but you know, I get it. Like, there's some parents that like don't want to talk about the devil or like evil things or entities in front of their kids. So I get that. But it's just scary to know that whatever this is going down almost like each generation and asking for favors. And she doesn't know what that favor is. Like, I can't even imagine like going, like living like that.
But also like, she's so brave. Like, that man just was like, can I ask you for a favor?
Yes.
And she was just like, yes. And just went to go to her mom's room. Like,
I would have like walked in, saw like from the corner of my eye like the figure, and been like, nope, and walking right back for like, not today.
I see how some parents don't want to introduce their kids to like anything like bad or good, but I feel like if you don't expose them or like if you don't tell them, somebody else will, and they might tell them the wrong info,
exactly,
or just make them like they're gonna be scared. So you have to prepare them for the worst.
Yeah,
I always say that's my mentality because I have anxiety.
Teach them. Like, you don't necessarily have to like, this is how I was raised and what I grew up as, and
so
this is
how
be.
you should follow. No, like I don't care. Like if I have a kid, like I don't care what they choose, just as long as they're happy.
Long as they're informed and they make an educated decision.
Exactly. Educated.
That's what my dad had told me, because there was this girl in my high school who like, she kept wanting me to go to her church, and she's like, please like come to my church. She's like, I think you'll like it. But she was a totally different, I forgot what religion she was, but totally different from mine that I was. And so I asked my dad, I was like, well, can I? And he's like, do you want to? And I was like, I don't know, that's why I'm asking, like, can I go? And he's like, well, yeah. He's like, I mean, you don't have to be what me and your mom are. He's like, if you go and like it and learn about it and you want to do that, then go ahead. So I did. Ended up not liking it because it was a little too cray-cray for me. But I was like, oh, okay. And that's what opened the door for me to like start researching and learning about other different religions till I finally came to my own conclusion.
Yeah. I grew up Catholic, straight up Catholic. Like, I have all my sacraments done. Oh, I mean, whatever, except for marriage. To be coming soon.
To be continued.
But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
other people, my uncle tried to get me to go to his church, and I basically sat there for 2 hours and heard them talk bad about other religions. I'm not going to say what
Oh my God.
church he goes to. But I was like, this isn't right, and I'm never going to go back to this church. Like,
I've done
thank
that
you for
too.
bringing me.
I've
but
gone.
no.
I've gone to church, and their pastor, whatever, was talking bad about other religions, specifically mine, because it was in my religion that I went. That church was, and I just felt myself like, you're standing up there preaching that you shouldn't judge, but you're judging others that don't follow the same beliefs that you do. No, I don't. That's
wrong.
That's
Sounds
wrong.
very hypocritical. to
Yeah.
me.
Whatever. That's a totally different, like, controversial topic, and I'm gonna end up getting pissed off and cussing, but I don't want to cuss, bitch.
Because then we will become slashers. Dun, dun, dun.
Slashers.
And my my weapon will be this mic that keeps hitting me in my face.
My choice of weapon.
We're tired, guys. It's 10:35 at night.
My choice of weapon would be these titties.
I was sure to say these nuts.
titties. Oh yeah,
I don't
these
have
nuts.
nuts. Not today. But I have these titties, and I will go around and titty slap people until they pass out. Hit me up. I'm just
But I just want to say Daisy is very brave for writing that in.
Yes, thank you.
She actually wrote me back and said that she had to leave her house to type it out and send it to us because she didn't want to do it inside her home. So
because she doesn't live in that home no more, though.
Yeah.
Maybe she doesn't want to bring the bad energy
Right.
to a new home.
like she didn't want to
Totally
remember it and,
understandable.
like in the house that she's living in now. But
I don't remember why, but she had sent me pictures of her old house that she used to live at. I don't remember why she sent me pictures. I might still have them in my messenger somewhere, but she was like, do you see something? And then I sent him to Matt's mom, and Matt's mom, remember my ex's mom, she's like, she knows stuff, and she's like, I see a face on top of the stove. And I was just like, oh fuck. So I need to find them, and I'll see if I find them, and I'll show you.
yeah.
Don't show me. I'm fine. I'm good.
I'll show you at 3 a.m. on a group chat.
You're going to send him in a text message.
Right at
Damn
3. But yes, thank you, Daisy. Love you.
Yes, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, guys. And if you want to send us your stories or your experiences, please email us at scarynutsscarypodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on our website, scarynutsscarypodcast.com. And if you want to become a Patreon, go to our Patreon, donate. We have one tier that has a whole bunch of perks that you can join in on if you become a Patreon. And all of the proceeds will go to our podcast. Updated equipment, field trips, like Ari wants to say. Let's go on a field trip to Las Vegas.
Yep, sure. Let's go.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, you're driving us.
I'll
Okay.
drive. bring
Did I
snacks.
already say follow on all social media?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did I?
I don't know.
Y'all suck. No, I'm just kidding. Follow us on all social media at Scary Not Scary Podcast. Make sure you rate and review us on iTunes so we can get in the charts. Follow us on Spotify. We are also on Podbean. Make sure you
Yes.
download Podbean. Follow us. We do our live show. We just did a live show last Sunday, 2 Sundays ago. When this episode comes out, it'll be 2 Sundays ago?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And merch. If you want merch, go to scarynotScaryPodcast.shop.
Yes.
Dot shop.
All the links will be attached to the episode in the description. If you ever read our description, probably don't, because sometimes I don't know what to put in the description. So don't ever read the description. Just go down to the links and click all the links at the bottom.
Please and thank you.
Please and thank you. Oh, we have a pumpkin carving contest going on. So make sure you submit your pumpkin carvings. Deadline is going to be Saturday, October 30th, and we will announce our first, second, and third prize winners on Sunday, October 31st, Halloween.
Yay.
And I think that's it. I'm tired. I know the girls are tired.
I'm tired.
I don't hear the
Car.
kids screaming yet, but I'm pretty sure when I open the door, we're going to hear kids crying.
They're actually passed out.
They are?
Well, except for Sabrina.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
She's the party girl.
Jason was passed
She
out.
got that for me.
I knew he was going to pass out. But yes, that's it. And until next time, remember to always stay scary.